Hello, Easy World friends. Julia Rogers Hamrick here. And something's been acutely on my mind the last couple of days, and I thought it would be a good time to share it with you. I'm not going to get into personal details, but more into what I'm learning from the situation. If you are a human being, and I'm assuming everybody watching this is, you have an ego, and I call that in Easy World speak, I call that your difficult world dictator, because the ego is what creates and maintains difficult world, and without it there wouldn't be difficult world. And without you participating in difficult world, there wouldn't be a difficult world dictator, because whenever you're in easy world, that entity just ceases to exist for that time. So the difficult world dictator is very, very insistent on you being in difficult world. And if you slip into easy world, there will be invitations back to difficult world. And if you are at a vibrational level to perceive those invitations, you are going to need to choose. Am I going to stay in easy world or move deeper into easy world, or am I going to accept the invitation into difficult world? I'm sure you've noticed that happens all the time. Like many, 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 many times a day, we're invited into difficult world. And the trick, the skill we need to develop is to identify those invitations and learn how to accept instead our invitation into easy world that our spirit, our love-based self, is always issuing to us, instead of saying, okay, I'm coming to difficult world, go, difficult world hasn't really done me right. I'm going where love is. I'm going to easy world where I'm happy and fulfilled. But sometimes that difficult world dictator makes it so enticing, you just want to go. And when this happens because another person's difficult world dictator is issuing the invitation, it's all you reflecting back to yourself. But in duality, we have this perception of being one entity and another entity and so on. Excuse me, I think I need a little drink of water. So there's going to be other people who are in their difficult world dictator mode, who are going to issue you an invitation through their DWD into difficult world. The difficult world dictator may do it by inciting you to rumble, asking you to box with them by, pushing your buttons and saying stuff that it knows is going to get your own DWD riled up. Or it could be something like you hear somebody speaking about someone that you care about, and they're disrespecting that person. You might jump into that. Or it could be something even more insidious is, let's say, somebody's gossiping and you can't seem to resist the invitation to jump in there and dance with their DWD and gossip too, even though you know it's taking you to difficult world. Because here's the thing. If you follow the difficult world dictator, where do you end up? Every single time? Difficult world. When you follow your spirit, when you follow your love-based self, when you follow love and obey love and move in the direction of love and express love, you will always end up in the world that love creates, which is easy world. And so it's sometimes very overwhelmingly tempting to go to difficult world at the invitation of somebody else's DWD. Excuse me. I've got some pollen stuff going on. At any rate, you really don't ever want to be in the position where you are susceptible to the invitation of the difficult world dictator, just within yourself, and within yourself being incited or invited by the difficult world dictator and somebody else. But I learned in someone else's DWD, kind of picking a scab today, actually, of something I had tried to let go of and take the high road on and, stay in easy world with, that there was still some ego stuff and some anger and some upset from something that happened. It was a couple years ago. It was certainly I was being misunderstood by this other person. Probably nothing ticks my DWD off more than when somebody seems to deliberately be trying to misunderstand my loving intentions. So that sets the stage for it. So this person came by and did a little drive-by invitation, so to speak, not literally, but just showed up in my world and made a comment that referred back to that thing that had happened, and all the stuff that I had been repressing about it and trying to take the high road with came bubbling back up. So while it's very important to learn to choose easy world instead of difficult world, you also have to understand that the DWD within you is going to hold on to stuff if you don't find an appropriate way to deal with it. So, I talk about this in the step-by-step frequency raising system, which you can read about in Choosing Easy World, and also you can get you can see it for free if you go to JuliaRogersHamrick.com. Excuse me, if you scroll down on that page of the homepage of JuliaRogersHamrick.com, you'll see a list of resources on that site, and one of them will be step-by-step frequency raising system. Just click there and it'll take you to it. And step 3 is to let your ego express whatever it needs to express, whether it's nice or not. It's not going to be nice. The ego is not nice. What am I talking about? So you need to express the stuff that the ego needs to express to feel like it's gotten the energy moved out. And so when you do that, there's not as much there when the DWD of somebody else comes along to push your button. If there's no charge there, if there's no stuff left over, if there's nothing ready to explode there, you'll have a much easier time moving into easy world. And more than that, simply, it won't even be an invitation. You'll go, meh, if anything, maybe you'll go, gee, sorry that person's still stuck on that, but I'm not, so, bless them and let them go. So it's really important to notice when the invitations come, to notice if there's a lot of feeling there, of charge there, of anger or of resentment or any leftover stuff, to find a way to discharge that, not with the person or toward the person, because what does that do? That just takes you deeper into difficult world. You accept the invitation, the DWD in them is going to find reason to escalate things and pull you both deeper into difficult world, and then you're deeper in there and you're going to say something. It's just, you just go deeper and deeper into difficult world, and it never ends well. in Difficult World. So the only time it ends well is when you go, look, I can't stand this, get me back to Easy World, and you say a prayer or you surrender to your spirit, whatever you need to do to pull out of the situation, to detach from the situation, and center yourself back in Easy World. So, you know, when you are clearing yourself emotionally, clearing out all the ego-based stuff like anger and so on, you want to do that in a container that you create. You know, I'm talking not about a literal container, kind of a figurative container, a sacred container where you can feel free to let go of this stuff and say the stuff that you really don't need to be saying to that other person, even if you think they're a stupid, short-sighted so-and-so. You know, whatever it is that you'd like to say to them, say it, but not to them. Say it to a piece of paper that you'll never let them see. Say it, you know, punch a pillow and say it. Say it to the air. Get it out of you, though. If you have a trusted friend that can listen to you, who's wise enough not to jump into Difficult World with you, you know, for me, that's my husband, Rick. He's great at that. If you have somebody like that that you can talk this stuff out to and say the stuff to, do that. But you don't want to engage with the Difficult World dictator in the other person, or, you know, in yourself, in the way that you're continuously escalating it to the point where you do something that lands you so far into Difficult World that it really, really hurts. It hurts you, it hurts other people in your world, and so on. So just say no to the Difficult World dictator, but not by saying no. By saying yes to Easy World, by clearing out all the gunk that's keeping you tethered to those ego-based Difficult World dictator emotions. So that's what I've been learning is, you know, all the various ways that the Difficult World dictator wants to pull me into Difficult World, and how, you know, really the test of spiritual maturity is to not buy into it, to not accept the invitation, and to move higher on the vibrational scale to the point that it's not an issue, that that same person can say the thing that might have pushed your button before, but because you've cleared out all the stuff on your own in private, and you've gotten clear about what's going on, because sometimes it happens before we even can, you know, say, oh gosh, well, I know what that is. That person wants to pull me into Difficult World. I don't want to go there. I'm not going. Sometimes it happens before you can even think through that and realize it. And then you're in Difficult World going, oh, you know, how do I get out of this? So, you know, I think the spiritually mature thing is to start identifying it, start making a different choice, start doing what it takes to clear your own stuff out so that you're not susceptible, and to ultimately get to the point where you're not creating that, you're not needing the mirror of the Difficult World dictator of somebody else to be in your face to show you what it is that you need to heal, to clear, and so on. So that's what I'm learning about right now, and I hope that that's going to help you. I'm sorry about this voice, but I needed to make this video tonight, and I was determined to do it even with the funky voice. So I'm Julia Rogers Hamrick. Come visit me at iliveaneasyworld.com or juliarogershamrick.com. And I guess that's all for now, except to say love to all.